Battle Through the Heavens, Grand World. Chapter 187 The Opening of the Tomb. Among these people, besides Mu Lin and the other 5 Monarch Emperor-level expert, there was also the second master of Lao family, Lao Zheng, the third commander of Black Scale Mercenary Group, Li Zhu, and 2 guards brought by Cao Ying, the big boss of auction. All 4 of them had reached the level of an emperor, which would be beneficial to their treasure hunt. Su Chong immediately took out an earthen yellow heavenly core. The rhombus-shaped heavenly core was glowing brightly, and a yellow light surrounded it, making it look extremely gorgeous. The remaining 4 people did not say much as they each took out a heavenly core. When all 5 heavenly cores were taken out, the origin monarch key in this area began to rotate rapidly. The sound of the wind caused 5 streams of light with different colors to swirl around the heavenly cores. Due to the special influence of this area, 5 streams of light rose from the heavenly cores. It seemed like they were going to entangle with each other. It really is here. Seeing the strange phenomenon of the heavenly core in their hands, everyone was delighted. Without any hesitation, the 5 Monarch Emperor level experts followed the instructions and held onto the heavenly core with both hands. The origin monarch key in their bodies surged and flowed through the meridians in their arms into the heavenly core. As the origin monarch key were injected into the heavenly cores, the flowing light above the 5 heavenly cores became brighter and brighter, erupting with a powerful deterrent force. 5 different colored flowing lights shot up into the sky and entangled together in midair. The entire sand dune seemed to buzz along with it. Xiao Yan hid in the distance and watched the movements of the 5 people without blinking. Under his sharp soul perception, as the 5 heavenly cores were injected into the balance of the origin monarch key, the entire sand dune seemed to resonate. Buzz. In the next moment, the 5-colored light formed by the 5 streams of light suddenly fell into the sand dune. When it came into contact with the sand dune, it suddenly dissipated. After that, an ear-splitting buzzing sound suddenly rang out and the 5 heavenly cores immediately began to rotate rapidly. The moment the heavenly cores began to rotate, the 5 of them withdrew their hands at the same time. The instant the heavenly cores left their hands, the faces of the 5 of them turned pale. They hurriedly withdrew, took out their medicine pills, swallowed them, and began to adjust their breathing. Sizzle sizzle. The 5 heavenly cores rotated at an increasingly faster speed. At a certain moment, they suddenly stopped. Then, they turned into a stream of light and rushed into the sand dune, raising a cloud of dust and sand. Struggle. The dust and sand dispersed, and a magnificent 5-colored array appeared under the sand dune. The array was in the shape of 5 horns, and each of the 5 horns had a groove on it. In each groove, there was a dazzling heavenly core. At this moment, the energy within the heavenly core was crazily pouring into the crystal core at the center of the pentagon formation. 5 different colored energies were like 5 flowing lights, illuminating Yu. After a moment, the crystal core at the center of the pentagonal grand formation suddenly erupted with a gorgeous luster. At the same time, the heavenly core in the 5 corner grooves also quietly shattered, turning into powder and dissipating. Bang! At the same moment that the 5 heavenly cores disappeared, the crystal core of the grand formation also immediately split apart. A loud rumbling sound was suddenly emitted. In the next moment, the grand formation disappeared, and the ground suddenly caved in. What appeared in front of everyone was a bottomless cave. The treasure location is actually so hidden. There is also a grand array protecting it. This emperor cultivation expert is definitely not someone an ordinary emperor cultivation expert can compare with. After pondering for a while, Su Chong was the first to regain his senses. With a thought, the surface of his body was covered with a thick armor made of origin monarch key. With a flash, he jumped into the cave. After him, Chen Rong's reaction was not slow at all. He followed closely behind Su Chong and jumped into the cave. Damn it! Seeing Su Chong and Chen Rong jump into the cave without saying a word, everyone was stunned. Soon after, they reacted. Mu Lin immediately cursed in his heart. A light flashed on his body and he also impatiently jumped down. After Mu Lin jumped down, the third commander, Li Zhu, who followed him, did not dare to delay and hurriedly followed. Second brother, be careful. This tomb will definitely not be simple. Lao Zhen reminded him in a low voice. Although he was anxious, he still had to put his life first. Nodding his head, Lao Zheng did not dare to be careless. Not only did he use the Origin Monarch key to form a sovereign key armor on the surface of his body, he also took out a shield-shaped spirit weapon. The light on the shield circulated, and it was far from ordinary. Seeing that everyone had jumped down, the fat old man, Cao Ying, furrowed his brows. As he was old and experienced, he could vaguely smell the scent of death from this tomb. When he thought about the fact that this tomb belonged to an emperor cultivation warrior from 10,000 years ago, he couldn't help but mutter in his heart. I don't care anymore. I've lived enough in Black Sand Castle these years. I'll go down and take a look. Perhaps I can find the opportunity to break through to the monarch emperor. Clenching his teeth, Cao Ying no longer hesitated. Just as he was about to go down, his eyes suddenly moved. After pondering for a moment, he turned around and said to the two guards, "The two of you follow me down." To be able to witness the tomb of an emperor cultivation warrior, the two of them had never dreamt of it. Immediately, they heard Cao Ying's words. The two guards, who thought that they could only relax for the crowd, were overjoyed and nodded their heads in agreement. After instructing the two guards who had just advanced to the emperor realm, Cao Ying took a deep breath. His fat body moved and he also jumped down. Behind him, the two guards also hurriedly followed. Seeing that everyone was going down, Xiao Yan, who had been carefully hiding behind a huge rock, took a deep breath. After swallowing a medicine pill, his body moved and rushed towards the sand dune not far away. When he arrived at the sand dune, Xiao Yan looked around. The huge rock was towering in a strange way. It looked strange but extremely natural. If there was no accurate map to guide it, no one would notice it. Looking at the bottomless cave under his feet, Xiao Yan no longer hesitated. The monarch flame on his body slowly flowed. The origin chains in his body vibrated. The origin monarch key that filled his body quickly flowed along his meridians, ready to launch a fatal attack at any time. Facing the tomb of an emperor cultivation warrior, Xiao Yan didn't dare to be careless. After making all the preparations, he carefully jumped down from the cave. On the other side of Black Sand Castle, under the lead of Mu Lin and his team in disguise, they successfully attracted many people with ulterior motives. Therefore, no one noticed the silent departure of the Lu family patriarch and the Black Sand Castle lord. Following the group of people from the Black Scale mercenary group, they came to a rocky plain. Looking from afar, the leader of the group, Mu Lin, raised his hand. More than 30 members of the mercenary corps just sat down and rested as if no one else was present. It was as if they didn't care about the battle with Emperor Cultivation Heavenly Beast. This behavior made many people who were observing in the dark feel strange. However, since the people of Black Scale Mercenary Group weren't in a hurry, they weren't in a hurry either. In any case, when the time came, the snipe and the clam would fight each other, and the fisherman would be the one who would benefit in the end. When Su Chong landed on the ground, he fixed his eyes on the scene. In front of him was a passageway that led to an unknown place. The passageway was extremely wide, and it wouldn't be a problem for the three of them to walk side by side. There were two walls on both sides of the passageway. There was a fire source spirit beast that was said to be indestructible for 10,000 years as a lamp. Although the passageway wasn't very bright, one could still see it clearly. Dong! Chen Rong landed on the ground. When he saw the passage in front of him, he couldn't help but reveal a shocked expression. A tomb of this level could really be opened by an emperor cultivation warrior. The current benefits were all for their own interests. Su Chong wasn't as enthusiastic to Chen Rong as before. Without saying another word, he carefully walked forward. Chen Rong didn't show any neglect as he followed closely behind. A short while later, Mu Lin, Lao Zhen, and Cao Ying landed on the ground one after another. Their eyes swept across this grand tomb before they hurriedly rushed forward. There was no need to be modest in front of benefits. Only the treasure left behind by an emperor cultivation expert was the most valuable thing. Chapter end. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.